Hey everyone, happy 2026. I know we're a few days into the new year, but hey, it's a new week, first full week of the 2026 calendar, and we're turning the calendar. The dawn of 2025, right there, Santa Anita. Got the new Santa Anita 2026 calendar today in the mail. Look at this beauty. Absolutely, month by month by month, just glorious, glorious, awesome photography of the great race place Santa Anita. I want to thank Rick Hammerly at Santa Anita Park and Santa Anita Park in general for sending out this annual calendar. I love it. I got a couple of them. I may give one away. We'll see. But I'm going to hang that up here pretty soon. And we're going to keep pressing on. Looking forward to 2026. One team that is pressing on in 2026 is the Indiana Hoosiers. They steamrolled Alabama. I told anyone who would listen that they would. Alabama stunk. They should have never been in the tournament. They were awful down the stretch. Barely beat Auburn. Got boat race. Should have gotten blown out by Georgia in the SEC title game, and then started the Oklahoma game down 17-0. They average about 25 points, or 25 points, 25 yards rushing a game down the stretch. Absolutely insanely awful. They should not have been in over Notre Dame, how they leapfrogged Notre Dame. And I know everyone gets tired of hearing me, quote, whine about that. But look, as a sports fan, I want the best teams in. All right. And when everyone in the country can tell you that Notre Dame should be in over Alabama and that Notre Dame would go off as the top four favorite to win the national title, they probably should be in. Best running back, best player in the country, in my opinion. Jeremiah Love, best running backfield, and one of the best offenses, hottest offenses in the country. But instead, we had to watch that debacle uh, that was Alabama. And again, kudos Indiana. It was awesome. Alabama never had a chance. I always thought they were going to lose by 17 points or so. And they did. And it was worse. I mean, Alabama looked like they did not want to be there. Just a bad, horrible coach team. And just a bad team. Indiana could not have asked for a better path in this playoffs. To not have to deal with a team like Notre Dame, but you get to face Alabama in the first round, an absolute layup. Now they go play Oregon. They've already played Oregon and they've already beaten Oregon. So there's nothing big there that I don't think they can overcome or can't overcome. In fact, there's nothing to overcome. They're going to win the game. I'm pretty convinced they're going to win the game. I'm not a big Oregon fan. I think there's going to be a ton of Hoosiers fans down there in Atlanta. The Oregon fans aren't going to travel to Atlanta. IU is going to roll. The other team that I thought would be a problem. So there are four teams I thought going into this thing before the selection that were the four favorites. All right, in no particular order necessarily, but Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, and Notre Dame. Notre Dame's not in it. All right. So now you don't have, well, and Ohio State's been beaten by Miami. And now you don't have Georgia. Georgia lost to Ole Miss. Great game. Best game of the day by far, by the way. Um, Great game. But Georgia was the better team all around. But Ole Miss pulled it off. And so they press on without their head coach. There's rumors they're going to be losing their assistants now who are staying on to coach through the playoffs. There's tons of stuff going on there. Their backup quarterback just entered the transfer portal. So you can't make this stuff up. Isn't college sports great right now? I mean, just wow. Coaches leaving midseason and players can't finish a playoff. I mean, what are we playing for? Isn't the whole idea to play for a national title? We can't even make it through the playoffs without just all this just noise. It's getting real tiring. And frankly, Indiana is like the beacon of light that's still shining bright in this thing because otherwise I'd probably be tuned out, quite frankly. And after the Notre Dame thing, I was just like, you know what? I can't watch a 12 team tournament with all seriousness when you have two mid majors and Alabama, who made it just because of their connection with the SEC and ABC, ESPN, and that's exactly why they got in. So, um, but at any rate, IU, I think they're going to roll to the national title. Now they beat Oregon. They will play the winner of Ole Miss and Miami. Miami's tough, obviously. They took it to they took it to Ohio State, but um, I don't think as far as talent wise, as far as high level productivity offensively or whatever, I don't think Miami's anything to totally write home about. They're really good, but IU can handle them. That national title game is in Miami, by the way, so that would be interesting. Kind of a home game for Miami, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. IU plays Oregon Friday night. Miami plays Ole Miss Thursday night. Keep in mind that because that's kind of a little bit of an unconventional schedule. You have the NFL playoffs starting this weekend, so they got to carve out Saturday for the NFL. That's why college is playing Thursday and Friday. But nonetheless, the Rose Bowl was it looked awesome on TV. Glad to see the sun kind of finally came out. Man, it was just not as picturesque as the Pasadena. Well, this isn't Pasadena, but it is right down the street from Pasadena in Arcadia. Not as awesome as on TV as we're used to seeing, but the sun did come out. The San Gabriel Mountains in the background a little bit looked pretty good. IU fans had a great time. They took over that place. Not an easy trip out there, not a cheap trip out there, not a convenient trip out there, but a fun trip out there nonetheless. So we'll see what happens. I know a lot of people going down to Atlanta. Don't blame them. It's a pretty easy drive. Cheap ticket too, I think. $220. I'm guessing they're gonna have a lot of tickets available for this. Oregon's not gonna travel the way Indiana will, and so I think there'll be a lot of availability there. And Pasadena, the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, not exactly the same as Atlanta now, is it? So anyway, we'll see what happens there. All right, NFL season comes to a close for the Indianapolis Colts, and where they go from here, nobody knows. We do know it was announced yesterday that they're bringing back the Chris Ballard, the Chris Ballard. They're bringing back GM Chris Ballard, and they're bringing back Coach Shane Steichen. Um, I'm not surprised by it. I'm not thrilled by it. I'm indifferent to it. Um, this is a decade now, and there's a lot of excuses that make for this year, and I know they were going to make them. Fans were already acting like everything was fine before injuries and Daniel Jones. Listen, they were leaking oil. They should have lost that Atlanta game. They did lose the Pittsburgh game. They were going to lose the Jacksonville game. They lost the Houston game. And the schedule was just getting worse. And I mean, they would have been competitive. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not really sure how many more games they would have won had Daniel Jones not torn his Achilles tendon. Nonetheless, he did. And the Colts end on a massive losing streak. Insane. They ended up losing 9 games. That's unbelievable. 7 game losing streak. And now, what do? You don't have a first round draft pick to plug any holes with next year. That's not insignificant, by the way. Everyone acts like those are a dime a dozen. Nope, they're not. Um, Especially when the guys you trade for aren't exactly killing it on the field. And Sauce Gardner barely got on the field. So I don't know. We'll see. They've got Sauce Gardner next year coming back healthy, allegedly. Uh, Javarius Ward, their other corner, their big free agent signing this year. He may retire. I mean, how many concussions can you have? 3 in a season? That's not good. Quarterback situations in flux. Daniel Jones coming off a torn Achilles. Conventional wisdom is they'll re-sign him, bring him back. But what's he going to be like? Yes, he'll be ready for training camp. They say. Well, how ready? I mean, he's going to be 100% and have the same mobility, fresh off of Achilles. I don't know about that. Um, Anthony Richardson, people say get rid of him, move on from him. Why? You need a backup quarterback. Uh, He was going to be your backup quarterback before he got hurt. And it really is, in all this, it is unfortunate. I thought this was going to be a good situation for him. I knew Daniel Jones was probably get hurt because he always does. The odds say he will, and he did. And so I thought, what a neat, kind of a good situation for Anthony Richardson to step back and be a backup like he should have been out of the gate in college. Totally mismanaged by the front office, by the way, and the team. And but come in a situation where you're needed in the middle of a game, injury, see what you can do. And listen, Colts would have been in good shape. I think he would have won a couple games for them as a backup. Good backup. There's a lot worse backups out there than Anthony Richardson. If you don't think so, you don't watch football. Um, but at any rate, why get rid of him? You'd be selling so low. It makes no sense other than the fact that Shane Steichen has a beef, and if he decides he can't work with you, then maybe he's not going to work with you. Which I don't know what that says about Shane Steichen, because there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that have been projects and coaches have turned into uh, really successful, productive players. You need to look any further than San Francisco and how many quarterbacks that they've gone through over the years, and it always works out. They can make it work. So I don't know. I'd keep Anthony Richardson. No need to trade him. You bring back Daniel Jones. There's nothing else you can do. Again, you don't have a first round draft pick this year or next year, so the capital you have to make moves isn't there. So you don't have the draft capital, you don't have the trade capital. Uh, yeah, I don't know what they do. I Good luck getting off to a 7-1 start again. Um, that's not easy to do. It's not easy to also end with 8 and 9 game win streaks like the Texans did and the Jaguars did. So very impressive there. So this division, no layup at all. I don't know. I understand them bringing back Steichen and Ballard. I can make sense of it a little bit. I think it's time to move on, but I can make sense of it. First year, new ownership, and everything was going well until it wasn't, and that's how they're going to justify it. But you know, things always happen in the NFL, and everything has a price. And trades that don't work out have a price, right? Going for it on fourth down always has a price when you don't get it. People act like, oh, I like going for it. You gotta go for it. You don't have to do anything. And often when the things don't work out, it's twice as bad as if they would have worked out. So I don't know what an off season for the Colts it will be. Um, I couldn't even begin to tell you where they go from here, but they are going to stay status quo from a management standpoint, coaching standpoint, and we'll see what happens. All right, hey, get a leg up on 2026. Turn that calendar. You already have. It takes a little bit, right? It's hard to get used to saying a new year in your head and understanding that it's a new year. Monday or January is kind of like a long Monday of the year. It's just but it's getting warmer out there. No hole in the polar vortex right now, so we've got that going for us, which is nice. 55 degrees, I think, tomorrow. About almost 50 today. So you get a leg up on the year and the week. Uh, have a good one, and we will talk soon, everyone. Take care.